The case of singlehood versus marriage. As someone who stands on the fence in this topic, I chose to look into it and see what I would find. I do not wish to sway anyone in either direction. I found that over the past 80 or more years, people have chosen more and more to stay single intentionally. People who choose not to engage in the search of a partner or a spouse. A study done in the USA comparing the levels of happiness between people single for over 18 years and married people for over 18 years, found them to be equally happy. The only difference is in married people, there was an increase in happiness around the time of engagement, wedding, and honeymoon, and then it would level out. I found the concept of the cost of marriage. Women tend to pay a bigger price in the dream of a home with a husband and kids. In a home where both parents work, the women still carry a larger weight of household management and childbearing, and an even bigger price in staying single. Where a man is praised for evading marriage, being a bachelor, and staying and enjoying his freedom, a woman is viewed to be troubled, frivolous, or of loose morals. Single people are found to be happier. They set to travel, pursue their intellectual interests, and have freedom from maintaining a household, which, believe it or not, is a huge contributing factor in general levels of happiness. What about loneliness? A search done in the USA found that married people get lonely too. The idea of leaning on one person for your support, your wellness, comfort, and warmth is quite unrealistic. It's simply too much for one person to handle. They tend to break under all that pressure. They found that single people work harder to maintain their friendships, their closeness to their siblings, and end up taking care of their parents in old age. The truth is, single or married, you need to work to maintain your relationships outside your spouse. Long life single people have also been found to experience more personal growth and found more often to say that their lives have been a continuous progression of learning, change, and growth. The idea that marriage and kids is the framework of a successful life is one sided and dangerous. In a world where the society gets a lot of things wrong, it's better to question everything and look into what will work for you best. I found a quote that said, until singlehood is viewed in the same prestige as marriage, people will get into marriage for all the wrong reasons. It was in the School of Life. And a quote by Charles Bukowski that said, there are worse things than being alone, but it often takes decades to realize this. And most often, when you do, it's too late. And there's nothing worse than too late. Marriage. Biblically, marriage is the right way for procreation, for lovemaking. You marry to abstain from sinning and to adhere to God's commands. And love is the fruit of marriage. At this day and age, marriage is seen as an age appropriate thing. People look to find partners just to satisfy what society requires of them. Once you cross 25, the question of marriage starts to pop up in families, your neighbors, your acquaintances. It's considered something you should do, your next step. If you don't get married at a certain age, you're looked down upon. If you're too young, you're considered to be compulsive and insensible. If you're too old or older, actually, you're thought to be frivolous, you're thought to be unsettled and even of loose morals. But there is so much that comes in a marriage. The thought of a shared life. Life alone can be incredibly difficult, and life in general can be so hectic. And it can be amplified if you face it alone. Things like illnesses and unemployment can really weigh you down. Someone to share the difficulties and the triumphs with is important. You can have friends or kids, but they cannot truly invest in your life like a partner or spouse would. They would have their own lives and their own spouse to share in their joys and their triumphs. If you become successful in whichever incarnation you take up, you will feel empty when there is no one to be genuinely happy for you, and your friends won't truly get it. Relationships offer the attention to develop, mature, and become whole. We get drawn to people precisely because we believe they will edge us in the right direction. It's too easy to seem kind and normal if you keep going from one relationship to another, but the truth about ourselves only becomes clear over time. Chances of developing increases as you stay and keep going in a relationship with someone. The point of holding out in marriage is to learn how to make things work and how to let go of your own needs and wants, how to die to self, and how to nurture something with someone. It also gives a mirror to your faults and things you need to work on. And it's also a space in which true love can be found and a reflection of God's image can be seen. In conclusion, romantic love is rare. Finding a compatible partner is rare. To hope for this is fair and good, but to pin our whole happiness on this is dangerous. Liberate yourself from expectations of society and just have beautiful experiences and connections with others. Romantic love is held at a higher pedestal than all these other types of love, which is not accurate or true. The space of singlehood will force you to confront your deeper aspects of your being. You're forced to be in a relationship with yourself. You did not get the chance to take yourself to a place of maturity. You have to face your flaws, your negativities, your negative coping mechanisms. You learn to live with yourself and create a framework that works. So you work on your personal growth, not to be too self absorbed, of course. It's important to understand the nature of your relationship with marriage and singlehood, whether it's truly authentic or it is affected by society, and choose what you would prefer according to your truth and your personality, not from external forces. In truth, humans have both the need for companionship and love, as well as autonomy, as the need to master and have purpose and meaning.